morning, Parker Falcons, and welcome to the Daily Dose. I'm Mrs. Gert.
I'm Miss King.
And yes, go ahead. Today we have a very special guest on episode 33, by the way, guys. Today is national, well, maybe not national, but it's School Nurses Day. So we brought on our very own district nurse, Miss Kathy Kanawa. And she is here with us today. We are going to ask her some questions about what she does and what it's like to do what she does on the daily. But before we do that, I have something really quick I want to share with you guys. I'm a little disappointed in our staff because we have our results from our How Well Do You Know Miss Crawford, and we had 13 staff members respond, but literally you guys didn't know the right answer. So 46% went with she won Family Feud, which was the correct answer, and then 46% went with Miss Crawford is the youngest of 9 children. So the question is, which one was the lie?
Yes.
And the lie was that her family won Family Feud.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which was a
lie.
lie.
She said she really wants to be on. Her family really wants to be on, but they've never been on or won.
Right. And
the kids did a lot better. Yes.
Luckily, the students redeemed the staff because the majority knew the correct lie. So the lie was that her family won Family Feud. Now, if you watch the Daily Dose every day, you would know because that's when she said it. So that's why we use that one. So, but yeah. Thank you for participating. 58 students, 13 staff members. Yeah. We appreciate you guys. Look forward to a couple more things coming your way before the end of the year. And don't forget to send in your TikTok videos. Yes. I have gotten nothing. Like, where are you guys at? Hello.
I'm going to have to do the first one, I think, Mrs. Skirt. I think it's going to have to be me.
Yeah. I was watching something last night. I was trying to pick.
There are a lot of funny ones to do. Like everyone thinks like the dances for the TikTok, but there are like silly, funny things to do on there too.
Yes, I like the one where you write on your hand and you go up to your significant other and it says pull, so they pull, and then then they turn, and when they open your hand, it says I'm hungry. Like, I just think that's something I would do to my husband. Like, feeding time. Can you make me something?
And then they're looking at you like, what is the point of this? I don't understand.
Yeah, just goofy stuff.
Yeah. So send them in. Send in the videos. We want to see them. We want to show them on the Daily Dose.
Yep. See if you can rock a TikTok better than Miss King.
I don't know.
Tough competition. Maybe if you guys send one in, we'll duet your.
Oh yeah, maybe if they send in one, then you and I can try to copy them.
Yeah, we can. So I'm not gonna for sure say we'll do that, but maybe the first TikTok we get, Miss King and I will.
Depends on how hard it is, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, send them in.
Yeah. All right, so let's get down to business. It is School Nurses Day. We have our favorite school nurse on. So, Mrs. Kanawa, can you tell us a little bit about what you do and how you got to where you are?
Sure. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys having me on today for School Nurse Day. I am so privileged and honored to work in our school district and love working with you guys too. So as far as school nursing, it's a really new experience for a lot of people. So everyone has to start out with becoming a nurse. So that means you have to go to nursing school, and there's different ways of doing that. So typically it's you go to college, and then you go to nursing school as part of the college, and then you get your degree. After you get your degree, then you have to take your state board license. So then you get your nursing license. So then you get an RN or whatever your nursing degree is. And then, so then to work in a school, to be a school nurse, then you have to go and take extra classes beyond that. So there's several graduate classes you have to take, and then you have to have a clinical experience with a certified school nurse for, a considerable amount of time, so that you'll know the specifics of school nursing.
Oh, so
Then you also have to take
similar
another,
to having an internship, kind of, right?
right,
So
right.
my kids know I had an intern this year. So if you wanted to be a school nurse, you would have to do what they call a clinical, but it's like an internship with a school nurse.
Yep.
Right.
And if you've ever had a student teacher in your classroom, it's the
Right.
same idea as that.
Yeah.
Right. And then after that is finished, then you have to take a state test for your, so you'll get your professional educator license in school nursing. And then you start working as a school nurse. So typically people get other experiences before going into school nursing. They may work in different areas to get some experience, because working in a school setting, you are pretty much the only healthcare provider in that setting. So you bring a lot of your experience with you when you're working in a school. And then there's additional certifications after that. You can get your national certification in school nursing, which would mean more continuing education. So there's always something to learn, definitely.
So
How
where
long have you been a school nurse?
20 years. I've been a school nurse. Yeah. So I started out in pediatric nursing. I worked pediatric intensive care. And then I still do public health nursing. And then I went into school nursing. So kind of brings the best of all worlds together.
Yeah, and it sounds like you had really great experience to be a school nurse because you experienced so many different things as a school nurse and you interact with so many different people.
Right. Yeah. It's just, so the pediatric are working with children. That was with what most of my background was. And then the public health piece also, because school nursing is actually a part of public health or community health. It's under that area.
Awesome.
do
Did you always want to be a school nurse?
Well, I knew I wanted to work with children always. I wanted to work with children, and I like helping people. So originally I thought about missionary work. But then I thought, well, it's still a mission working in school nurses, working in school nursing. So I thought working in nursing, I could do that work and not go quite so far. So I decided to look into nursing then, and I've loved it ever since.
Awesome. Were you going to ask something, Mrs. Beck?
well, I was just wondering if there's anything about, like, because, and I would imagine most of our students know this, but if you're a pediatric nurse, your day-to-day is probably a little bit different. So is there anything you miss about that, that career that you don't get now, or vice versa?
There is, so everything that I would have seen as an inpatient, and working in the hospital. And so the thing with nursing is you can work in so many different settings. So working in the hospital setting, you have your patients, you have your routine, your hours are pretty much set. Working in a school is very different. You may think you know what your routine or your schedule is going to be, and it can change in a minute. So
no way.
a lot of surprises, a lot of things come up. So you just have to really learn how to prioritize your day and do what's best for the students and the staff at that time. There's nothing really that I miss about that, about the working in the hospital. I'm so fortunate to work with great nurses, great staff, great teachers. But you have to collaborate a lot with other nursing professionals who do work in schools and other places so that you're staying up to date on all the latest information.
Yeah. I feel like, they say the word triage, or kids or anyone who watches like a medical show, right? I feel like that's kind of sometimes what we do too, even in the school. It's like you're trying to figure out what's the most important thing, what needs the most attention or the quickest attention, and you got to do that first, and you got to kind of figure it out.
Right. Yeah. I mean, in your mind, like, what are your priorities for the day? Obviously medications, caring for the children, like that is your priority, but then something else, or you may think that there's other reports or other interviews or things that you have to do, but then, someone may come in and need your care for a longer amount of time. So you have to know, what is the most important thing that I need to do right now for this student and for this family?
Right.
And then prioritize your day. And there's things that you may not get done, reports or whatever. And then you just pick it up the next day. But you have to be there all the time for the students and the staff.
Yeah. Ms. Canal, what would you say was the hardest part of your education or training to become a school nurse?
So the classes, there's a lot of science. It's a tough curriculum. It's very rigorous. So that, the training is hard. But I think overall, not just learning to do what's best for patients. And then when you're in the clinical setting and you're caring for them as a student, you're not going to see them again the next day. You might have a clinical on a Monday or Wednesday and not see that patient. And so it really, when you're leaving that patient, did I do everything? Did I teach them everything that they're going to need to know? What's going to happen when they go home? Are they going to have everything? Are they going to have the care they need? Are they going to be able to get their medication? Is there's going to be someone with them? So there's a lot of unanswered questions, and you like to be able to know, like, ooh, how are they doing? And you don't get to know that. Which, unlike school nursing, so in a hospital, you would have your patients for 1 day, 2 days, maybe 3 at the most now. Here in school, I have my patients forever, from kindergarten through 8th grade.
Yeah, for years.
Yeah, I do. I've got some of my patients for 12 years. So anyway, I really get to get to know them. So sometimes when they come out of early intervention, they're 3. And then when they graduate from 8th grade. So I've seen some kids come through like that, and it's just really great to see how they've grown in their families. So
yeah. Would you say that that's the best part of being a school nurse?
It is. I love that part of being with families, advocating for the students, teaching the students what they need to do to advocate for themselves. So there's a lot of education that goes into nursing and working in a school setting. It all comes full circle. So just teaching students how to care for themselves, because I know when they go on to high school, it's a very different setting, and they're expected to know a lot more. So making sure they know what their medical concerns are, what their health conditions are, what are their medications, when they should take them, why they take them, and what they can do to take good care of themselves. And working with families to help them advocate for their child, also the community resources. So really kind of pulling it all together to make sure that everyone has what they need regarding their health.
Ms. Kanawa, do you think that there's anything else you need to share or would like to share about what it takes to be a school nurse?
So patience, you have to have, you have to be able to, a lot of patience. You have to be able to be very comfortable working outside the healthcare setting. So when you're working in a hospital setting, you're with other healthcare providers. When you're outside that, you're working in an educational community. So it's, how does health fit into that education community? And now we're seeing health has to fit into that education community. And so health is always important, and just reminding people why that is. And obviously it's not the focus of working of a school, but it's obviously a very important piece of that too.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming on and giving us all this information.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
There are a lot of kids, and I know a lot of nurses. I know that that's a career path that a lot of people will choose. And it's similar to me, like, to be a school social worker. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a math teacher. But then I decided, like, oh, well, a social worker can help people. Well, then I found out you could be a school social worker and you can be around kids all day and still get to help people, right? And so it took me in that direction, but I didn't know that initially. And so I think sometimes kids aren't exposed to all those different occupations, and they don't understand how you get there or how it all fits together. So we appreciate you shedding light on that for them.
Yes, there's so many different areas of nursing. So, and nursing is the #1 trusted profession. It has been for a very long time. So if anyone,
people trust their nurse more than they trust their doctor.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's good to be trusted, and people put their confidence in you. And for anyone who's thinking about going into nursing, there's so many different areas of nursing to go in. So you have to, like science, want to make a difference, like to help people. There are nurses that work in research. There are nurses that work with babies, with children, with older people. There are flight nurses. Nurses work in the emergency room. They work in different settings. In the community setting, nurses go into homes to help people. So there are so many different areas of nursing, but the one thing that we all have is we want to make a difference and we want to help people. And in school nursing, you're really helping to build a healthy school community and make a difference for students so they can come to school to learn and stay in school, and be safe.
Yeah.
I feel like someone should say, you know, you can't be squeamish either.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you find a vein like that? You talk about like the science and the rigor, and I'm just over here thinking, but you have to put a needle in someone's arm.
So you do, and even with immunizations with children and that, so you have to think like what the benefit of that. So the needle is going in the arm for the immunization, and that's going to keep you healthy. Or the needle is going in the arm for the IV because someone's dehydrated and they need those fluids. So you kind of have to look beyond that piece and say, what I'm doing is helping you, and I'm sorry if it hurts, but
Yeah.
it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it, and we appreciate everything you're doing to keep our students and our staff safe. Really, I think about you a lot, and all the work you're putting in. So, thank you so much, and we will see everyone tomorrow.
Thank you, everyone. Be safe. Have a great summer. Wash your hands. Thank you. Bye-bye.